queens all over the world. So welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel, and make sure y'all subscribe, press the like button, comment, go watch my old videos and all that good stuff. So as y'all can see from the title, today I'm going to be doing a story time about my first heartbreak. Okay, I gotta prepare myself, y'all. I haven't told the story in a while. I haven't talked about it in a while, but we're gonna do this today. All right, so my first heartbreak, this is not about no boy, because I know everyone think that's what I was about to talk about, but this is not about that. No, it's not. My first heartbreak was July of 2010. And this is how it happened. So, if you watched my last story time, you should know that I'm a church girl. I've been going to church and all that good stuff. She's here for emotional support, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so we have this thing called Mountain View Bible Camp. We used to go to camp every year, and you know, camp was fun. It was an exciting time for all of us. We was always so excited about going. So yes, we go to this camp every year. We used to, like I said, every summer. We used to always be happy about it, exciting. Camp was so fun, everything. Yeah. So this particular year, we got to the camp and the power was out. Mind y'all, we go every year. Nothing ever happens at camp. We normally get there and be able to proceed in what we do. But for some, well, I know now, but for some reason, when we got there that year, the power was out and we couldn't stay. We had to go back. So the plan was we go back home, and then when the power, you know, started working again, we were going to be able to go back. So we got home that night. That next morning, our parents were supposed to be taking us back to the church or whatever, you know, to get back to camp and stuff like that. So it was me, my cousin, I think, and my sister, of course, and my little brother. And we woke up that morning just like calling my mom, because we like, where are you at? Like, you supposed to be taking us back. I'm sorry if it's hard for me to get through the story, y'all. I haven't really sat and really thought about this in a minute. But yeah, so we're calling my mother and this man. But anyway, we called my mother like, where are y'all at? Y'all supposed to be taking us back to the church. Mind you, I already started to get like a iffy feeling because they're not answering. And when they are answering, they're giving us short answers. They're not trying to tell us where they at and like all this other goofy stuff. So back then, well, as kids, you know, 2010, we're kids. So as kids, we not thinking, you know, too much of it, but we just mad, going off in the house spazzing because they about to make us miss the camp bus. Like, that's what we thinking about, going to camp. Like, y'all is about to make us miss going to camp. So at that time, me and my baby father, we was like super close. So we're on the phone with him, telling him like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to camp. Like, I don't know what's going on. Boom, boom. So then we just go about our day. And mind you, at this time, my grandmother is not in Baltimore. She's visiting her family, I believe. So we calling her like, Grandma, what's going on? Where's your daughter? Like, why is she not answering the phone? She's supposed to be taking us back to church and how we normally do. So, I found out something was wrong from my grandmother. My grandmother had said something about, she was asking me questions like, is everything okay? And stuff like that. I don't remember exactly what my grandmother said, but she was asking questions and I'm like, what, Grandma? I'm calling you to see if you know where your daughter is at. And then when she said that, I start calling my mother like, Mom, like, stop playing, man. Where are you at? And she talked about the hospital and like, when she said the hospital, I'm like, okay, for what? I'm thinking she ready to say her or something. She's like, she's like your granddaddy or something like that. So again, I'm like, granddaddy, what? Again, they're giving us short answers and all of that. So she all like, yeah, girl, everything all right, or something like that. We'll be back there soon. So now, of course, me and my cousins worried, and then I got my baby father on the phone saying, don't worry, you know, he gonna be good, nothing really wrong, something, like, okay. So as time goes on, she did not come home, y'all. She did not come home. We still in the house, and this lady from my church, her name is Sister Gloria, she called, and we thought, again, it was probably something about camp, but no, she wanted to get us out the house. So, again, I'm thinking two things. Like, I'm thinking it, but I'm not saying anything out loud because it's like, it's either they trying to distract us or she really wants to do something with us because we can't go to camp. So it could have really been either one because Sister Gloria, she does everything with the kids at the church, and she used to take us a whole lot of places and stuff like that. We used to have fun with her. So it could have been either or at that time. So I knew something was wrong when she came and got us. We got ice cream. She got all of us ice cream. She took us to another member house from the church. And then they started asking, do we want to go to the movies and stuff like that? Now, she did do fun stuff with us, but when it was stuff like taking us out like that, we had to normally pay for it ourselves. Y'all offering to take us to the movies, we don't have no money and all that. It's getting weird now. So it's just like, what's really going on? So she called my mother and asked, like, do you want me to take them to the movies? And apparently my mother was like, no, it's time, bring them here. So I'm sorry, y'all. I just seen it in my head. Hold on. Okay, so we pulled up to my grandmother's house, and I just see so many people at her house. So I guess out the truck, and I already knew something was wrong because it was just a weird feeling that whole day. So everybody was acting weird and strange. And when we finally got there, I seen people like outside. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through the story. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, I seen people outside sitting on the steps, and then it didn't hit me till I walked inside. When I walked inside my grandma's house, a lot of people was in there too, but then I look over and I see my grandmother remember in the beginning, I told y'all she wasn't even in Baltimore. Like, she was supposed to be visiting her family and everything. So I see her and her sister, and my grandma's on the couch crying. I'm a G, y'all. I didn't know this story was going to get me so emotional, but I haven't talked about it in a while. And I don't know why I just vividly see stuff when I'm trying to tell the stories. But yeah, so as I seen her crying, I immediately knew something happened. And I just ran out the house. And I ran towards the alley. Because I think I ran towards the alley because I think they had told, in the midst of us, you know, keep calling people, someone slipped up and said that, you know, they found our grandfather in the back of his house in the alley, and, you know, he hit his head. So, I had to already know that because I don't know what else would have made me try to run towards the alley in the backyard. And I just remember my aunt Tanya, she tackled me. She like tackled me and like it helped me because I just broke down because I knew he was gone. I knew he was gone at that moment because why else would y'all be doing all of this? And at that moment I felt my first heartbreak. I don't know. I thought this was really my first life-changing experience because I had so much faith that he was going to be okay. I was praying and praying. I remember praying. Okay. I was praying and praying, and I just, for some reason, I never believed that God was going to do something as much as I believed he was going to help him or save him. And that was my first time feeling so much anger and doubt towards God. Like, I didn't think praying was working. I didn't think prayer worked after that. I didn't believe as much. I needed help afterwards. This lady from my church, Sister Pat, I used to like just have so much doubt after that. And I remember her telling me, God may not have saved your grandfather the way you wanted him to, but he saved him. And I did not understand that. I did not understand it at all until I got older. And that's when yeah. But that was it was a very conflicting time in my life. Like I said, it made me doubtful. My faith wavered. I didn't want to pray anymore. I just didn't understand why he had to take my grandfather away from me while I was so young. But I was very grateful because he allowed me and my cousin and my sister to see him literally right before it happened. He took us to the store. He bought us so many snacks. He literally told us to get whatever we wanted to get to take to camp. And then the next day he was gone. So that's really my last memory of my grandfather. It still hurts, as you can see, because I didn't even think this story was going to make me cry. But I haven't talked about it out loud. I haven't, like, went through the event again until now. I don't really like talking about it. I don't like talking about it. But I really do miss it. It's just like, he missed so much. Like, I have kids now that I know he would have loved. They would have loved him. He didn't see me. He didn't see me graduate high school. He would have loved this. Like, he was a photographer, so he always knew I was going to be, you know, good with the cameras and technology and stuff like that. But he would have loved the fact that I was just doing this. I just feel like he was ripped from, like, taken away too soon. But we can't question God. Although it made me, like, that's why I said it was a very conflicting time for me, because back then it made me really question if God was even real. But now that, you know, when I think about it, God could have shown up more in that situation. Like I told you, he made it possible for us to see him right before he took him home. Then the light situation at camp. If the power was on at camp, I wouldn't even been there at all. We probably would have still been at camp. We wouldn't have been able to be with our grandmother, our family. Like, God was very much present in that whole situation. Although it hurts. Even though he's not here, you know, physically, I know he's watching over me. I know he's watching over me. I just hope that he's proud. I hope he knows that I miss him and I love him. But, yeah. This is my first heartbreak story. I don't do well with death, y'all. So I just put that out there. That's something about me that you should know. I don't do well with it. It's a concept that I'm still asking God to help me with. What are you doing? You think you're gonna get all my videos now? Yeah. But yeah, I did not expect this to go like this. I can say as time passed, it's made it only... As time passed, I can say it's only made it easier to go on and, you know, live your everyday life without dwelling on it. Like, I feel like this video is proof that time doesn't really, well, I personally feel like it doesn't heal you, or unless I'm just not healed from it. Maybe this would be the start of my healing, making this video. But personally, I don't feel like time really heals anything. I don't, especially not like losing a loved one. I don't think time can heal that. I don't know. It is, you just go on. That's all that time really does to me. But yeah, I don't want to be on here any longer. That was hard. I really didn't expect it to go like that. What really did it for me was when I seen it like it just happened yesterday. Pulling up to my grandma's house, seeing those people. But my grandfather's passing, I don't even know if the police really did all they were supposed to do, because my grandfather's passing was like right after, you know, the grieving process, and we put all the pieces together. His passing was very suspicious to us. Me and my uncle, I only have one uncle on my mom's side, but me and my uncle Push, my uncle was on it. And then once I started listening to him and the evidence and stuff like that, it made complete sense. And I feel like the police just didn't want to do their job and investigate further, because my grandfather had won a whole bunch of money that day, which makes sense on why he let us get literally whatever we want out of the store. So he won the money. Trust me, I know my grandfather. So yeah, then that same night, like he did the same thing all the time. It was like he had a routine, really, which could have been a good thing and a bad thing in this case, because people knew him in the area where they lived at. People knew what he, you know, which way he walked home and everything like that. So my grandfather, he fell into his alleyway, and he hit his head on the cement, but his knife was like across from where his body was. His wallet was across as well. So I'm thinking, I'm not a cop or anything, but I feel like this just makes sense. It's common sense. Like, if you fall, your stuff is going to fall out of your pockets near your body. If you're fighting or whatever, being attacked, trying to get away, hit from the back, anything, then it would make more sense why some of your things are scattered over here and you end up another place. So, I mean, of course, knowing what happened isn't going to bring him back. But after that, it's just like, you can't trust nobody. The police, not even, because especially the Baltimore Police Department, they don't like doing their job. And I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. They don't do their jobs. They don't want to investigate. They go with the first story so they can close the case and be done with it. And my grandmother, she's like, probably one of the strongest people I know. Her faith is immaculate. I admire her. I aspire to be like her. I want to have that amount of faith that, you know, can't be touched even in times like that. She's very, like I said, strong, so she knows where he is. She didn't really excuse me, press the issue too much to, you know, go on with an investigation. But honestly, I don't think my heart could have took hearing that someone actually did that to my grandfather. I feel like it would have just created more anger in me. So again, God does everything for a reason. And that was my story, guys. It did get a little emotional, and I'm sorry because I never think I would be crying on here, but yeah, long live my grandfather. So if y'all ever hear me rocking out to the church song Emmanuel, y'all know, of course, God, but that was my grandfather's name as well. So that song really is, you know, personal to me. If y'all don't know what that song is, it'd be like, what's his name? Emmanuel, the Lord God is with me, and he's right there by my side. Emmanuel. Alright, y'all. But yeah, that song helps me a lot. So y'all know what's going on. Like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. Go binge watch my other videos. Thanks for listening to me, y'all. Yeah. Alright, y'all. Have a good day. I'm out of here.